the Dynamo off the Ferguson 20 diesel there. Bearings sound 110%, I'm happy to say. So, little impact driver, don't even bother trying them with a screwdriver, they're usually fairly well whacked on. This is a 1971, so it's later, but it does the trick. It's a C40. The originals would have been a C39 version 2. But a lot of the time, because these were fitted to so much British cars and all of that, and vans and tractors, later on in life, you literally just grabbed a newer one off one of them or off the shelf, and they fit. Distance in there is perfect. So we'll whip off the back, instead of just when we get this running, you know, wondering if it's good or what condition the brushes are in and what condition the bearings are in. Well, we can check the bearings by just loosening off the fan belt. We're just having a look in the back here and seeing what's going on. It's always nice to do this. They're a serviceable part. Bearings are available for this. Doesn't need bearings. Oh yeah, look at that. That is what you call perfection. That's what that is. That is perfection. Lovely brand new brushes. Very little work done on them. Very little. Okay, the bushing looks good. This is fairly dried up. And the finger isn't getting dirty there, so we'll definitely oil that up. So you oil it in there where it says oil. That's an oil-like bearing, soaks, and as it heats it lets out. It lets out. Oh God, that's one problem with them. It's always the same. The field coil there, the earth is always so loose on them. Look at that. Now we're going to have a better look at that now with a torch. Let's have a quick look at the torch. I want to get a look at that earth. We might have to do a little bit of a drill job there and put in a nice little small bolt with a lock nut on it. That's usually what. Oh right, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we'll give you a look at what's going there. That's definitely going to have to go, yeah. It's completely loose inside, and that's a very important connection. Someone has done a bit of soldering, and someone's done a little bit of soldering. That should lift off up there easy enough. Usually a dimple on it there somewhere. Definitely drill that out and put a bolt through it. So the earth is the most important thing. Why is that so hard to get out? Someone's been doing a bit of tapping on it, but that's all right. Usually just lift straight up. Right, let's get a little screwdriver in there and see if we can help it along its way. It's always worth opening these up. There's only 2 brushes in there, not like a starter motor that has 4. We're lifting up there now. That's right. Nice and easy does it. I'm going to make sure things aren't rubbing along the way here. There's a bit of insulation kind of coming off the field coils here. It's a fairly tight fit. That is tight. Don't like that too much now. Might just have to do a bit of cleaning in there. Insulation is a bit iffy, but it's probably okay. That's always a hand joint connection. Sometimes people solder them. Now this is the bit that I'm worried about in there. That little rivet there is way too loose on that. That has to be solid. The bit of soldering is fine, no problem there at all. So I think what we do is we're going to drill him out. We're going to pick ourselves a nice bolt just want to see what's going on there. Might just get a little punch at it and see, will it punch back in the way? Have a little feel of it and see what is going on. I don't really know what it is. It's like a strange. It's like a strange sort of a. It's sort of breaking off there, anyway, whatever it is. I don't know what that is. Has to go anyway. It wasn't doing its job. We could grind it away with the Dremel, or just have a feel of it here with that. It's fairly heavy metal, whatever the hell it is. Which you wouldn't mind if it was doing its job. If it was actually holding that earth. But it ain't. It's starting to go back in there now anyway. Okay. And that's a good one. So let's get another little punch here, a narrow one. Try and punch him down through there. There we go. Right. And there we go. So a really hard kind of a rivet, lad. It wasn't, because it was so hard, it was actually not really doing what it was meant to do. That is, make a good connection. So that is going to have to say, day to this lad. We're going to put a nice long bolt in there. That just ain't going to cut it. Might be a little hard to take out because it's a little bit wide and at the end. Well, we'll work it. Might be a little bit. Yeah, I'll come back when we have him out. We'll do a bit of cleaning up there. Few issues. This wire here was sitting in there loose, so the solder had done nothing to it, right? So give it a quick clean down with the Dremel and a bit of a grind in this. Just want to clean back that single core wire there a little bit so we can do a bit of soldering. Soldering iron is heating up. Right, so we'll clean this down as well. Both sides, right? This is a little bit bent here, so we can try and straighten them up there a little bit. If not, we'll just give them a squeeze. Nice and easy does it. It's okay, we don't want to go breaking at him, so just squeeze him. He's already soldered on the other end, but yeah, there we go. When you hear the fingers crack, you know that's good. So yeah, that solder there was not doing the job. So I'm going to hopefully resolder it. It's probably going to be a bit dirty. But we'll see. We'll melt it and see what happens. If we use a bit of flux, We'll tighten in the old vise there just to keep everything nice and handy. See what happens here. See, is it hot enough? Probably needs to be on a little bit longer. We'll leave it heat up there. Old solder now is starting to take a bit too long to heat up. So this has to be insulated, so it's on an plastic insulator, but it wasn't doing its thing. I do not know whether this is working or not, but I can tell you it would surprise me if it was working. We cleaned up the earth and the same inside, got even more cleaned up inside because it has to contact the back of that. That's lovely and clean. So we need to solder this bucko in here. So that solder was not, so someone soldered it and didn't check it. It was not doing its thing at all. So we might have to get rid of this solder and clean everything up and then squeeze it, which is Kildare English for squeeze. Might have to give it a bit of a squeeze. It's a fair lump of solder now to be melting, so see, it's starting to think about going there now. We want this to catch the wire. It's starting to go there now. As I said, it probably is dirty. There we go. We will make sure that this is making its connection before we put it all back. Now we'll try that. Let it set. Let's try and get a nice little flow across it there. It can be touch and go. See, is that making its connection now? Yes, it is. It is. It's pulling the wire. Okay. So that is brilliant. So we can start putting stuff back. I might move it over this way. You might have a bit of a better vantage point. Brilliant. Just want to get a bolt and we'll come back. Nice little long bolt picked out here. Hopefully it'll go through. It'll go through there. And will it go through here? It won't. Well, we will change that, because that's why the drill was invented. At least we're going to make a nice, neat little hole for this. Yeah, don't know if it was working or not, but you know, I can't see how it was working. Oh, that's a very close fit, so it'll probably have a bit of a time going through it. Oh, no. See, is that a bit better? Try from the far side here. I need to go up the next size. It's all right. That should do it, will it? Yeah, that'll do it. We'll, it'll go through there so we can put on our washer. It'll be too long and we'll just literally cut it off to whatever length we want. That's a nice fit in there. It's nearly threading through. Okay, he goes on in on behind, if I'm not mistaken, because he does have to, he has to earth. So that's going to thread in there. That'll be a lovely, lovely fit. And we may as well get him land up in there. That is definitely making a nice connection when it's actually screwing through. That's what I want. You're getting that. I'm going to get the power. When we put a nut on the far side of this now, by God, she'll be conducting electricity. Just one of them things. Just want to make sure now that we're right, are we? Yeah, that's it. Better off checking now. Our lad below is staying nice and centralized there. Oh, that's going to be, look, already, look. It's moving a little bit, it's not even bolted on. So that is smashing. Smashing. Why do we say something is smashing? Oh, usually, I would imagine smashing isn't a good thing. There's people watching this video from other countries, and they hear me saying there's something that's smashing, and I mean in Ireland here that it means it's good. I probably don't understand if it's coming up in subtitles. That's because it originally came from Irish. Is-ma-shin. It is good. Smashing. Sounds like smashing when you say it quick. Is-ma-shin. Smashing. Smashing. And there's a little bit of history for today. That is solid, lads. It's going nowhere. That is going nowhere. And that is how we do our earth. This baby's going to be earthing. She's going to be earthing. Very, very quick rub of this. This will all help it take up any end flows in the commutator, and it will increase the chances of it earthing. Don't have to clean it right back, but we'll take the heavy bit off. That is good. Okay, brilliant. Now, is that a seal bearing? Probably is. Feels perfect. Wow, I like these ones to have the nuts. They're usually rivets, so that's really good. Okay. This is where if you had a big chuck that you'd put that into the chuck and run around with your wire, with your sandpaper to clean up the commutator. And you get a nice level clean out. This isn't too bad at all. So just the clean is enough. It's worn, so what? The brushes won't be long cleaning that up. How are we fixed? Let me get a brush on this alloy piece here. It doesn't look like something that's been off for very, very long. Long ago. That'll all earth lovely now. Thing of beauty. I feel it's going back on over. Okay, it strangely feels a lot better now. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. We will oil it from above the way it's meant to be. We'll let it drip down overnight. We'll get our little picks ready to pull those back. This is hopefully going to be a half-hour crash course in saving your dynamo. So we usually get, as my headlight died, it has pull back one side. Only time sometimes is your lads come out and they twist and you can't get them back in. So keep on pull. Easier said than done sometimes, a little bit awkward. Okay, let me see now. Line up the field coil, pull them back, try and catch them down. Maybe get that side done first. In there, get that on the inside out of the way. How do we look on this side here? Our spring has gone off center, so we correct that. Okay. There we go. Little bit of a wiggle. A little bit of a wiggle. Okay. This is where I could do. I put my little lighter charge there because I could do it. I could do with that for having a look down there. Seeing that everything is okay. There's a little bit of a gap there. Just want to make sure all of them wires now are, as they're live, ain't touching the body. Up she comes. Now what we'll do is we'll throw it down on the bench. Let's see if we can just, there we go. May as well get a bit of oil running down in there. Upside down. There we go. Someone had this apart not too long ago. You can even see a bit of grease on the end of these long bolts. There'll be white grease. So there you go. Let me just cut off our bolt there, have it right. Well, I can tell you one thing, that earth was not going to be playing ball bites. Whereas now, there won't be any question. It has to get earth through from that battery lead we were working on the back of the tractor. Has to travel from under the seat there on the top lift cover, rear lift arm cover, through the gearbox, through the bell housing, into the engine, into the block, through the dynamo bracket, and then in through there. And as we saw, that wasn't just flopping around there, flopping around. So I'd say the charge was up and down and all over the place. But we fitted a new ammeter, so we'll be able to probably keep at 9 things now. So this is an earthing point as well, because it's the chassis. So we give him a clean up, and we're going to be giving the bracket on the tractor a clean up as well. We might even remove the bracket and give it a clean up where it hits the block as well. So I know that probably sounds, it's doing a lot of grinding and all of that, or it might just sound like your last visit to the dentist, but I can tell you it's not doing a whole lot. Not doing a whole lot. It's definitely not doing any damage. But I know one thing, they do some serious work then. You can hear that, you can hear the brushes rubbing lovely. That is nice. What we'll do is, we'll just very quickly give it a spin by hand and just throw the voltmeter on it there, if it'll stay, and see if we can get some form of a voltage. Yeah, it might stay put. It has to stay put because we can't hold him. And we're getting something there. Look, I'm barely turning it. Barely turning it. Let's earth it there as well. Instead, probably the same reading anyway. Yeah, barely turning it. We're getting 0.6 of a volt. So what does that tell us? It tells us that our earth is working. And it also tells, the voltmeter is trying to tell me that it's not happy there. So we'll put it down. I just want to get somewhere where we'll get in camera, right? So that's called continuity. So I'm going to test that between our earth and our There you go. So our two connections, if we can get them, where was it? There you go. So I'm connecting between that field coil and the earth. So that's telling me, I always seem to get 5, I don't know why, but it's good enough. 0.05, right? That tells you basically, that beat, if there is no resistance, it tells you your connection is good. But I remember doing one, and I went to town on it. This got a seriously full strip down, and I did the same thing in that, and I got 5. So you're not going to get any better. So lads, very quick. Don't know how long this video is. I was hoping to get it all done in about half an hour. Kind of keep it quick. Of job on the Dynamo. So we're there. We have it done. Hopefully it'll help people. Just so one of the days, if you have one and you're not sure what condition it's in, do what I did on it there. Do what I did on it there, and you should have a good dud him over there, stop him getting loose. It does have a spring wash as well. Do that, and you should have a good Dynamo. Now we're going to fit one more quick little thing here. Yeah, so that's not going to earth great, and that's not going to earth great. So whip him off, clean them all up both sides. But as far as Dynamo goes, that's all I do to them. If everything else looks good, that's how I sort the earth.